to keep all my purses. This one here is really special. If my house is on fire, I would take this one.
Your mom is real. Don't love me because of no diamonds. Take all this. This bracelet right here look real as a. This shit was $23.
Speaking to this client here regarding selling her Birkin 30 Gris Etienne, if I'm not wrong. Gris Etienne is the color, and it's palladium hardware. The bag is in box fresh condition, but it's Y stamp, which means it's a 2020.
Hermes is in total panic mode right now. The luxury giant just launched multiple lawsuits against the very same Chinese factories that blew up their billion-dollar secret. These weren't just random workshops making knockoffs, they were the actual manufacturers crafting the real Birkin and Kelly bags that Hermes sells for $20,000 each. Now they're leaking all the dirty details behind those prestigious Made in France labels, and the truth is far messier than anyone imagined. The fashion world is in absolute shock right now. What we're witnessing isn't just another minor scandal, it's the complete unraveling of luxury's most sacred brand. Resale shops are reporting panicked sellers trying to offload Birkins before prices crash even further, while collectors are discovering their prized investments might now be worth half of what they paid just months ago. Industry insiders whisper about the end of an era as the carefully constructed illusion of European craftsmanship crumbles before our eyes.
Is wearing a fake Louis Vuitton fanny pack and she didn't know it. I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why I know that this Louis Vuitton bag.
They say, hey, I want to buy one of these. You know what they say to you? No, we don't have them.
For decades, Hermes sold us the perfect fantasy. Exquisite bags, lovingly handcrafted by skilled French artisans in quaint Parisian ateliers. You've seen their carefully produced videos showing artisans in pristine white coats meticulously sewing leather by hand, perhaps with classical music playing softly in the background. Their CEO even stated in a 2023 interview, "We cannot increase production because true craftsmanship cannot be rushed. Each bag is a singular work of art created by hand in France." This narrative allowed them to claim supply shortages, create artificial scarcity, and maintain wait lists stretching 2 or 3 years for their most coveted designs, all while charging $12,000 for a basic Birkin, with special editions fetching over $500,000 at auction. The Hermes fantasy became the ultimate aspiration, not just a bag, but a symbol that you'd finally made it. But that image has now shattered completely. According to shocking insider leaks and manufacturing evidence, up to 80% of these supposedly French luxury bags are actually being manufactured in China, not just components or small parts. We're talking about the entire manufacturing process. Cutting, stitching, assembly, all the real work happens overseas. Hermes merely adds final touches in France, slaps on their logo, and suddenly it's an authentic made in France masterpiece. The ultimate luxury deception.
The latest Hermes bag with me. This is my first bag I got this year. I usually only get 1 bag a year, and this is the one for this year. And I'm really excited about it.
Meanwhile, the brands are laughing all the way to the...
First of all, you have to be Hermes customers. You have to demonstrate that you like the brand. And then you can only buy...
The exposed documents are damning. Internal production sheets show the complete manufacturing journey of Birkin bags, from initial leather cutting in Shandong province to near complete assembly in massive industrial facilities outside Shanghai. The leaked supply chain reveals a complex network of Chinese factories operating under strict NDAs, with some handling exotic skins, others managing hardware production, and dedicated quality control teams ensuring pieces meet luxury standards before being shipped to France. One insider revealed they produce approximately 150-200 Birkin bag bodies per day at just one facility, far more than would be possible with the individual artisan model Hermes promotes. Shipping manifests show regular cargo flights from China to Paris, carrying thousands of near-complete luxury goods ready for final touches. A former quality control supervisor shared photos of entire warehouses filled with Hermes-bound products, stating, "We were processing over 5,000 items per week for them alone, and we're just one of several facilities they contract with."
As your daughter drawing on your $60,000 Birkin, am I right?
Yeah. I couldn't even be mad at her because when I asked her, I was like, I wanted to see if she was gonna tell me the truth. I was like, Coach, did you draw on mommy's purse?
Literally spent $60,000 on this purse. Look what my daughter did.
The logistics records paint an even more damning picture. Detailed manifests showed temperature-controlled shipping containers traveling from Guangzhou to Paris on a weekly schedule, with tracking documents specifying semi-finished luxury goods valued at hundreds of thousands of dollars per shipment. Customs declarations carefully categorize these items as component parts rather than completed goods, a technical distinction that allows Hermès to maintain their European origin claims while outsourcing the majority of their production. Our artisans need 4 years of training to manufacture a Kelly bag, Hermès claims in their marketing. Meanwhile, their Chinese manufacturing partners are exposing a totally different reality. These factories don't just make Hermès products, they also produce items for other luxury brands and even IKEA. The same facilities, the same workers, the same machines, just different labels in the end. What's particularly revealing is how these factories are organized. Leaked floor plans show massive production lines with specialized stations for different luxury brands. Workers rotate between producing a $25,000 Hermès bag in the morning and assembling a $39.99 IKEA storage item in the afternoon. The leather sourcing is equally enlightening, with multiple brands using identical materials from the same suppliers despite marketing claims about exclusive and proprietary leather sources. One Chinese manager speaking anonymously explained their operation. "We have contracts with over 30 European luxury houses. Our techniques and quality are excellent. The only difference is whether we attach their logo or not. The fashion houses know this, but their customers don't." When these Chinese manufacturers started sharing receipts and evidence online, Hermès completely lost control. The factories were literally showing production processes, costs, and proving they were making the real bags, not counterfeits. The most damning revelation? The actual production cost of a Birkin bag is around $600. Not $14,000, not $38,000. Just $600, including good quality leather and metal hardware. The cost breakdown became the viral smoking gun that fashion insiders couldn't ignore. Itemized manufacturing reports show the exact expense for each component, approximately $250 for premium calf leather, even for larger sizes, $120 for hardware, including the iconic lock and key, $80 for thread and interior fabrication, $75 for labor costs, and around $75 for quality control and packaging materials. That's a staggering 3,000% markup for a standard Birkin 30, even accounting for shipping, final assembly in France, and retail overhead. Industry experts estimate Hermès enjoys profit margins exceeding 90% on their signature bags, among the highest in any industry worldwide. One ex-employee revealed that internal targets actually pressure sales associates to maintain these margins by focusing on pushing their highest markup items.
Boots in China, and that is these boots right here. This is pretty much the UGG boot that like most Americans will have in their house. I was very pissed off when I found out the truth because I grew up in Southern California. I remember being in elementary school when I would only see 2 people in the entire school wearing UGG boots, and they were always the cool surfer kids.
Enter Tanner Leatherstein, luxury's most feared whistleblower. He's no random TikToker, he's a genuine leather expert with a massive following built on his brutal honesty. His signature move? Buying authentic designer bags and literally slicing them open on camera to reveal what's really inside. He first exposed Chanel for replacing real gold hardware with plastic coated metals. Then came Louis Vuitton, Bottega Veneta, and of course, Hermes. Tanner made it painfully clear that the leather quality in these $20,000 bags isn't any better than what you'd find in a $100 alternative. When his videos went viral alongside the Chinese factory revelations, Hermes knew the game was up. The carefully cultivated image of French craftsmanship was crumbling and fast. But Tanner wasn't done yet. His meticulous documentation extended beyond just the leather quality. Using specialized equipment, he demonstrated how many premium luxury bags were constructed using industrial adhesives rather than the traditional hand-stitching techniques featured in their marketing videos. In one particularly damaging demonstration, he submerged sections of a $15,000 Kelly bag in a chemical solvent that dissolved the hidden glue, causing entire panels to separate, something that would never happen with genuinely hand-stitched construction. What they show you in those romantic atelier videos is just the final decorative stitching. Tanner explained in a follow-up video that garnered millions of views. It's theater, like a chef adding a garnish to a pre-made meal and calling it scratch-made. His analysis videos became a masterclass in luxury deception, revealing how brands use strategic visible hand-stitching alongside hidden machine construction to create the illusion of artisanal craftsmanship. Tanner's most explosive video garnered over 18 million views in just 48 hours. In it, he compared a $22,000 Hermès Kelly to a $350 high-quality alternative, cutting both open side by side. The results stunned viewers. Identical stitching patterns, comparable leather quality, and in some cases, the alternative actually used superior construction methods. The biggest difference, Tanner explained, is that one has a tiny H stamped on the hardware, and the other doesn't. His laboratory analysis went even further, revealing that some Hermes leathers contain synthetic fillers and coating agents, directly contradicting their pure natural materials marketing claims. His investigations didn't stop there. Tanner traced serial numbers from authenticated Hermes bags back to specific Chinese manufacturing batches, proving undeniably that these weren't counterfeits but genuine Hermes products made in the same facilities as mid-tier brands. When luxury forums attempted to discredit him, he responded by purchasing another Birkin and doing a live dissection with professional leather chemists who confirmed his findings. This isn't just about where these bags are made, Tanner explained in one viral post. It's about the fundamental dishonesty in what luxury brands are selling us. They're not selling craftsmanship, they're selling permission to feel special. Did Hermes respond with transparency and accountability? Of course not. They went straight for the legal jugular, filing lawsuits against several Chinese factories for misusing intellectual property and defamation. The irony is almost comical. They're essentially suing factories for revealing they were under contract with Hermes. They're desperately trying to silence the very manufacturers they've been working with for years. The legal documents themselves provide fascinating insights into Hermes's panic. In one filing obtained by industry watchdogs, Hermes attorneys claimed the Chinese factories violated confidentiality agreements by misrepresenting the nature of their limited component manufacturing role. This carefully crafted language attempts to downplay their reliance on these factories while simultaneously acknowledging their relationship. Several factories have countersued, producing signed contracts dating back to 2006 that outline their comprehensive manufacturing responsibilities, far beyond mere component production. When pressed by journalists, Hermes released a carefully worded statement claiming they maintain the highest standards of craftsmanship with final production completed by skilled artisans in France. Note the strategic phrasing. Final production, not complete manufacturing. They've also launched an aggressive media campaign featuring glossy videos of their French workshops, conspicuously focusing only on the finishing touches being applied to bags. Industry analysts point out these videos never show complete bags being constructed from scratch, just the final assembly stages of components that arrive mysteriously pre-made. One former PR executive for a luxury conglomerate revealed, "It's a classic crisis management tactic. Show what you want people to see, imply it represents the whole process, and never directly address the actual allegations. But the numbers tell the real story." Hermes pulled in $15.2 billion in revenue in 2024. That's millions of bags sold annually. Yet they claim it takes a full 2 days just to make one Birkin by hand. Where exactly is this massive secret army of French artisans hiding? The math simply doesn't add up, and people are starting to notice. Financial analysts have been the first to point out the mathematical impossibility of Hermes's claims. Based on their published production figures and stated crafting times, they would need over 12,000 master craftspeople working full-time solely on handbags, more than triple their entire global workforce. When inventory numbers from their annual reports are compared with their claimed production capabilities, the discrepancy becomes even more glaring. A Wall Street Journal analysis estimated that to meet their reported sales volumes with their stated production methods, each artisan would need to complete a physically impossible workload, the equivalent of 85-hour work weeks with no holidays. Even more revealing is their factory footprint. Property records show Hermes's French production facilities total approximately 180,000 square feet, physically incapable of housing the number of artisans needed for their claimed production methods. Meanwhile, their contracted Chinese manufacturing partners operate facilities exceeding 2 million square feet dedicated to luxury goods production. Now that the truth is spreading, the resale market is feeling the impact. Prices are dropping as collectors realize they spent $25,000 on bags made in the same factories producing $400 alternatives. The revelation that many full calfskin luxury bags are actually cheap PE-coated leather has sent shockwaves through the collector community. The numbers are staggering. Luxury resale platforms report Birkin values declining 28% 28 to 35% in just 3 months following these revelations. One major auction house postponed its scheduled luxury accessories event after consigners began withdrawing their Hermes pieces, fearing they wouldn't reach reserve prices. Private collectors who invested millions in rare Birkins as alternative assets are watching their portfolios hemorrhage value daily. A financial advisor who specializes in luxury investments shared that clients are panic selling. We're seeing the same psychology as a stock market crash. Those who get out first lose the least. The psychological impact runs even deeper than financial losses. Longtime collectors describe feeling betrayed and foolish. One collector who owned 27 Hermes bags valued at over $800,000 told reporters, "I built my collection over 15 years believing I was acquiring pieces of art created by master craftspeople, finding out they came from the same production lines as mass market brands. It's like learning a painting you treasured is actually a print." The psychological fallout among collectors has been severe enough to spawn support groups and therapy sessions specifically for luxury disillusionment syndrome. One Manhattan therapist who specializes in wealth psychology reported seeing a 300% increase in clients seeking help processing feelings of betrayal and identity crisis related to luxury purchases. "These aren't just bags to many of my clients," she explained. "They represent achievement, status, and personal identity. When that narrative collapses, it triggers profound emotional distress." Social media groups once dedicated to showcasing collections have transformed into spaces for processing collective grief. The 5 stages of Hermes grief became a viral thread, with collectors sharing their journeys from denial to acceptance. Some have turned to activism, forming consumer advocacy groups demanding transparency in luxury manufacturing. Others have embraced the revelation, creating trending hashtags like #IembraceTheChina and Same Factory Club, celebrating finding identical quality in pieces costing a fraction of designer prices. Perhaps most surprising in all of this is how celebrity endorsements fuel the entire system. Think those stars are buying Birkins with their own money. Many are gifted the bags or paid to showcase them. It's strategic placement. Hermes hands a $60,000 bag to a celebrity. They flaunt it on Instagram, and suddenly everyone wants the same status symbol. Remember Kylie Jenner's famous Hermes closet tour? How many of those bags were actual purchases versus gifts or promotional items? The celebrity luxury relationship is far more calculated than consumers realize. A veteran Hollywood stylist who's worked with A-list clients for over 15 years revealed the inner workings. For every celebrity you see carrying a Birkin, I guarantee there's a contract, loan agreement, or strategic gift behind it. No one is just casually buying these bags. These arrangements range from outright payment for appearances with specific bags to complex product seeding strategies where celebrities receive items for free with the expectation they'll be photographed using them. The economics are fascinating. Luxury brands calculate the exact value of celebrity appearances with their products using sophisticated metrics. One marketing executive explained, "We track impression numbers, engagement rates, and conversion data. A single Instagram post from the right celebrity with our bag can generate millions in sales, far more than traditional advertising. This explains why brands happily gift products worth tens of thousands to influential figures." Internal documents from one luxury house revealed they budget approximately $15–20 million annually just for celebrity product placement separate from their advertising budget. The Kardashian-Jenner family represents perhaps the most successful example of this strategy. Industry insiders estimate that Kylie Jenner's famous Hermes closet, supposedly worth over $1 million, contains primarily gifted items or bags provided on long-term loans. The Birkin trap deserves special attention. Somehow owning one became the ultimate status symbol, but here's the catch. You can't just walk in and buy one. Hermes requires customers to build a purchase history first, forcing them to spend thousands on scarves, belts, and accessories before even being offered the chance to buy a Birkin. That's not luxury service. It's cult-like behavior designed to inflate desire and perceived value. This purchase history requirement represents one of the most psychologically manipulative sales tactics in retail history. Former Hermes sales associates have revealed the explicit internal policies. Customers typically need to spend $25,000 to $40,000 on other Hermes products before being offered the privilege of purchasing a Birkin. One ex-employee explained, "We were trained to never explicitly state this requirement, but to hint at it through careful language, like building a relationship with the house or demonstrating your appreciation for the brand." This deliberately vague guidance creates a system where customers continuously spend, hoping hoping to cross an invisible threshold that would grant them access to the bag they actually want. As this luxury illusion crumbles, the entire luxury empire begins to shake. Hermes isn't just trying to save face, they're fighting for survival, because once made in France loses its magical appeal, luxury as we know it fundamentally changes. The industry impacts extend far beyond just Hermes. Other legacy luxury houses are scrambling to fortify their own narratives as consumers and industry insiders alike ask uncomfortable questions about their manufacturing practices. Internal memos leaked from 3 major European luxury conglomerates reveal emergency strategy sessions and reputation management plans, with one executive writing, "If Hermes falls, we all become vulnerable. This is an existential threat to our business model." Financial markets have taken notice too. Luxury stock indexes have experienced unusual volatility, with analyst reports questioning the long-term sustainability of 90% profit margins in an era of manufacturing transparency. Investment banks have begun issuing cautious guidance on luxury stocks, with one major firm downgrading the entire sector, citing increased manufacturing transparency risk as a primary concern. The ripple effects are extending into retail spaces as well. Department stores and multi-brand luxury retailers report changing consumer behavior, with more shoppers asking pointed questions about production origins and materials before making purchases. Sales associates at high-end boutiques have been quietly provided with new origin story talking points that carefully avoid making specific manufacturing claims while still implying European craftsmanship. Most telling of all is how luxury education is changing. Fashion and business schools that once taught Hermes as the gold standard of luxury brand management are now using them as case studies in reputation risk and supply chain transparency. "We're literally rewriting our curriculum in real time," shared one professor at a prestigious fashion business program. What was considered brilliant strategy last semester is now viewed as a cautionary tale. The reality of modern Chinese manufacturing has evolved dramatically over the past 2 decades. Today's premium Chinese factories employ master craftspeople with decades of experience, utilize state-of-the-art equipment that often exceeds what's found in European workshops, and have developed proprietary techniques that luxury brands specifically seek out. One Chinese factory director who spoke anonymously shared, 10 years ago, European brands would send their experts to train our workers. Now they send their people to learn from us, especially for complex leather manipulation and advanced stitching methods. Industry insiders confirmed this reality. Chinese manufacturing expertise in certain specialized sectors has surpassed traditional European techniques. The technological advantage is particularly notable. While luxury marketing emphasizes traditional handcrafting, the truth is that precision machinery creates more consistent, durable products. Chinese manufacturing facilities have invested billions in cutting-edge equipment, laser-guided cutting systems accurate to 0.01 mm, computer-controlled stitching that maintains perfect tension, and quality control technology using AI and computer vision to detect flaws invisible to the human eye. One leather expert explained, "The romantic notion of an artisan with basic tools often produces less precise results than modern methods. The irony is that the handmade in France bag likely has more inconsistencies and potential structural weaknesses than its Chinese-made counterpart." This quality revolution extends beyond just technology. China has developed its own world-class tanneries, with some producing leather so exceptional that European luxury houses quietly source from them while maintaining the fiction that their materials come exclusively from specific European regions. Environmental standards at top Chinese facilities often exceed European requirements, with advanced water recycling systems and sustainable processing methods that traditional European tanneries haven't yet implemented. The persistent stereotype of Chinese manufacturing being somehow inferior isn't just outdated, it's become the exact opposite of reality in many specialized sectors. Hermes's legal assault on these Chinese manufacturers proves just how desperate they've become. It's not just 1 or 2 lawsuits. Reports indicate they're targeting multiple factories with claims of defamation and intellectual property violations. What they're really furious about is getting caught red-handed in their own deception. The timing couldn't be worse for Hermes. With increasing US tariffs on Chinese imports, global brands are being forced into transparency about their supply chains. When your supposedly French masterpieces are primarily made in Shenzhen factories, that's a serious problem for both your brand image and your profit margins. This scandal reveals something much larger about today's luxury market. These brands aren't really selling quality anymore. They're selling perception, illusion, and status. Now that you know where these bags really come from, would you still spend $20,000 $50,000 on one made in the same facility as products costing a fraction of the price. The luxury veil has been lifted, and there's no putting it back. Industry analysts are already predicting the emergence of post-deception luxury, brands built on radical transparency rather than manufactured mystique. Several startups have capitalized on the moment, launching direct-to-consumer luxury goods that proudly disclose their complete manufacturing journey, component costs, and profit margins. One such brand exploded from obscurity to a 6-month waitlist after their Honestly Made campaign went viral, featuring high-definition video tours of their actual production facilities. Some traditional luxury houses are cautiously exploring new narratives. One iconic French brand recently filed trademarks for a new subline described in documents as celebrating global craftsmanship excellence, with an emphasis on transparent sourcing and authentic origin stories, seemingly preparing for a world where the old European exclusivity narrative no longer carries the same weight. Perhaps most interesting is how consumers themselves are redefining luxury. Social media analytics reveal a shifting conversation, with engagement around heritage and French-made declining, while terms like ethical production, craftsmanship, transparency, and authentic value gain momentum. The luxury consumer of tomorrow appears less interested in where something was made and more concerned with how it was made and whether the story being told is genuine. As for Hermès, industry insiders speculate they face 3 possible futures: double down on the French narrative and hope the storm passes, radically reinvent their brand story around global excellence, or gradually fade into irrelevance as a new generation of luxury consumers seeks authentic stories over manufactured myths. Whatever path they choose, one thing is certain: the era of unquestioned luxury worship is over. The emperor's new clothes have finally been revealed, and they're made in China.